There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
You guys miss me? Because I did not miss me. Actually, honestly, I miss me. So, hello, Gold Diggers. It's me. Welcome again to my office. It's actually also called a clinic and the project study space. I'm Gang, and it's Thursday. I know I missed a couple of, maybe I just missed one. I missed a tip last week because we've had a death in the family. And like many Filipinos, we go through a really rough time. So I totally skipped one. I shouldn't have, I know. But the mental health tip for last week is this: if you're grieving and you need time, take it. The world will understand. Even your work will understand. They will not wither and die if you don't rest. So that's the Pablo mental tip from last week. I was really not in good shape to do anything interesting. Actually, last week I had to give a eulogy. So, but we're back. And here we are. And tonight, I'm not sure if you remember, since nga 1,000 years akong nawala, really a grand total of maybe 14 days, we're gonna increase our emotional literacy tonight by discussing. Wait, don't. I'm gonna try this really well. You see it? Cognitive distortions. So we meet again. This is what we're going to talk about. I don't know if you can see it, and I'll start with this picture. What do you think this is a picture of? Parang ano yan, like pag tinanong kita, okay, alam ko malabo, nakikita ko naman. Pero anong sa tingin mo yung picture na yan? Like what was it a picture of? So I asked some of my people the people that I accompany for therapy, and some of them said it's a mall, or I think it's a picture of a bridge where traffic is going on under. Oh, I think it's a picture of an outdoor restaurant, but it is distorted. So we're not sure. So when things are distorted, we are not accurate with what we are seeing. We're not sure. And a lot of times when we think, sometimes our thinking is distorted. So that's our topic. Cognitive distortions. Okay? What does cognitive mean? Anong ibig sabihin ng cognitive? So, sige. Start muna tayo sa definition of terms because I always say this, we need to be emotionally literate at lahat ng binibigay ng mental health tips of Project Steady and Gold Diggers every Thursday through the Project Steady space is a little tool, an additional tool in your toolbox when you try to face things which are emotionally heavy, which really I was really going through. I just have a lot of energy now because I kind of just woke up. I was napping. So let's start with cognitive distortions. Let's define. Cognitive, alam ko naman nababasa niyo yung slide. So, i-accompany ko na lang. It's really your capacity to think. So, ito yung mental process na kaya mong magsabi ng, oh, that is a laptop. So, halimbawa, may nakita akong balloon na red, sasabihin ng optical nerve ko, my eyes will see the balloon, it will send a signal to my brain, it will process it, and cognitively, through my senses, I will remember that that is the color red, and that is the balloon, and I will say, that's a red balloon. But the thing is, nangyayari to super bilis kasi sobrang efficient ng brains natin. Ng mga statistically normal people, grabe mag-connect ng things we know. So, I mean, instantly, when you see someone, you just immediately know who they are. If you have a cognitive challenge, it's really hard to identify what's red, what's blue. So, if you have cognitive capacity, congratulations. Please be grateful to the universe. Now, so in essence, ito yung hindi lang siya identifying things, perception din siya. Halimbawa, if I go to a dark alley, pwede kong i-associate cognitive capacity yon na, uy, parang ganito yung nangyari kay Bruce Wayne, kay Batman. Dito sila na-harm, dito namatay parents ni Batman. And you can perceive it to be harmful. Or for example, kung buong buhay mo, tinakot ka ng mga kapatid mo, parang ako, ng mga ate mo at kuya mo na, uy, pag madilim, nakakatakot. Every time I'm inside a dark place, I always immediately perceive and say, oh, I remember this. They said this is scary. So that's my cognition of it. So yan ang cognitive, right? And what does distortion mean? You know, ito yung demonstration, yung picture. Yan talaga yung distortion when you twist and bend and you make something warped. So you malform something. So hindi siya realistic. I guess that's it. When you twist and bend something. May mga physics involved in distortion. Meron din, of course, like, hallucinogenic. Pwede rin yun. But what I want to talk about is, like, for example, yung first picture on the left, yung clock, may glass of water, and then nagre-refract siya, as in nare-reverse niya yung number 9, and then it's also magnified, right? So that's distortion. Like, it's, when you twist and bend something, that it is almost out of its natural state. It is not in its original state. So, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you. All right. So this is an example of a distortion of a self-portrait of one artist that I borrowed from the internet. Thank you, God. Uh, This is obviously not realistic. So ergo, I can tell a child na, uy, ang portrait na to, yung mukha niya, distorted. So hindi realistic. Okay. Twisted and bent and warped. So, pag tignan mo tong picture na to, as in feeling mo realistic siya. Okay, feeling more realistic siya. But actually, if you have a square lens, like a lens, it cannot it cannot cover this much of the angle. So you know that dinistort ng konti yung lens, di ba? May fish eye, oh my gosh, kaya alam niyo to sa Instagram, yung may panorama, may fish eye lens, may etc. Para ma-accommodate yung kanto, it's more than 45 degrees. So this picture, it's also distorted. So, it's not always distorted, ganito ka-obvious. Minsan, medyo mukha siyang realistic. Pero in physics, really, this is not what the lens sees. It had to be curved in order to accommodate the whole square and this hallway. Kasi kung hindi distorted yung lens, ang makukuhanan ko lang yung hallway. Do you get it? Yeah? Thumbs up? Okay. Thank you. So, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi, oh, I love this topic because feeling ko ito ang cornerstone na kailangan mong malaman, like your vocabulary when it comes to understanding your anxiety and your worries. We all have cognitive distortions and we are so good at it. We are so, kung sports to, Olympic level tayo. Sige, semis, pwede tayo mag-qualify. Parang sobrang galing natin dito. So, if you notice, may mga icons all around. So, I'll go ahead and go per icon. At para hindi tayo mahilo, so that you're not like dizzy or anything like that, I labeled it for you as I discuss. Okay? So, lower left, black and white thinking. Ito yung talagang either failure or perfect. Parang yun lang. Parang walang shades of gray. Okay? Kayang-kaya nyo to. Super galing nyo dyan. Negative filtering naman, kahit may bigger picture na may maganda yung bigger picture, ang magzi-zero in ka lang dun sa bad part. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ka you took an exam and then it's 98 over 100 and you will pick on the two na nagkamali ka. Almost forgetting slash filtering, that's why that's the word, the 98 that you got right. Okay. I mean, I think you know what perfectionism is and etc. And I know that some of us, I mean, who doesn't want to be perfect, but we really are good at negative filtering. That sometimes we even say, like you go to a wedding, or let's say you got married, and then for like 15 minutes it rained on the day of your wedding, and they asked you, "Hey, how was your wedding?" And you say, "Oh my God, umulan." It was just so bad. But, I'm sure hindi naman 7 hours umulan the whole time of your wedding. So, but you will fixate on that so that one negative thing is the defining source of your answer. So, it's a little different from black and white thinking. Yung black and white thinking kasi either, bobo, parang gano'n. Ang bobo ko. Alam mo yung black and white thinking ganito babalikan ko, yung nasa lower left. You sent an email, there's like 6 typos, and then you say, "Oh gosh, may typo ako doon. Ang bobo ko." Okay? Nilabel mo na sarili mo na bobo when actually you could have said, "Shucks, may 2 typo ako doon." You can go specific. Look at how different it is. What kind of signals do you send your brain when you keep labeling. So, yung catastrophizing, sobrang galing rin natin dito. Ito talaga yung parang, oh no, ito. Ito yung best example ko kasi parang siguro phobia ko to, I'm not sure. Well, like when something funky happens in an elevator, like biglang toot, umilaw yung whatever and I'm in an elevator, tapos medyo may shugog-shugog ng konti. I swear, wala pang 2 seconds, inisip ko na, oh no, 1 year ako nandito. Oh no, hindi kami mahanap. Oh no, I'm sure masastuck kami in between floors na walang signal. You know, and then I'll say, oh my gosh, tatanda na lang ako inside this elevator. Oh my gosh, that is catastrophizing. I know after a while you will realize you're joking. I know after a while matatawa ka kasi you'll hear yourself that it's so absurd and you'll hear yourself that, parang OA. But sometimes for the first 10 seconds you're quite convinced that you'll be in the elevator for a year. So that is catastrophizing. Black and white thinking, negative filtering, catastrophizing. Overgeneralization, medyo kamukha rin niya yung black and white thinking. They all kind of look alike. May subtle differences lang and sobrang mahalaga na we identify it so that we can address it. So overgeneralization is pretty much like this. You miss your flight and then you say, life is unfair. Okay. Okay. You missed the flight. I get it. That's big. May gastos, may rescheduling, you'll probably miss something, but you can't say life is unfair. I mean, that's an entire life. So parang you sent a signal to your brain that your whole life is unfair, but you missed the flight. It's large, I get it, but it's not your entire life. But you overgeneralize, like, oh my gosh, that's it. My life is a mess. I'm never gonna get out of. We do that too. That sounds like catastrophizing, but mostly, when you hear yourself say life is unfair, or when you hear yourself say, men, or women, or oh God, titas, ganyan. That's overgeneralization. Okay, the emotional reasoning, which is like that man in the drawing of the blue profile of a man in the middle. Interesting to. Ito naman, ang emotional reasoning is parang how you're feeling, that's reality. For example, if you will usually say, I am angry, I feel angry, therefore, Simone must have hurt me. Then if she hurt me, she must be she must hate me. So it's based on your feeling, but you can get mad about the smallest things or the biggest things, and it's not the basis so much of fact. Um, you know, so emotional reasoning is about you base it on your feeling and it becomes the reality. It becomes the reality. So based on your feeling. So I am sad, therefore someone made me sad. Therefore, whoever made me sad is evil. It's pretty much that's the flow of emotional reasoning. I told you they all kind of look alike. Um, I think all Filipinos are, I think all humans are really good at the lower right. Cognitive distortion, jumping to conclusions, fortune telling, super galing natin dito. Halimbawa, you go into a party or you go inside a place where people are having dinner and they're all laughing, 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 laughing. And then as soon as you enter, they all keep quiet. Okay? You're going to say in your head, you jump to conclusions. I'm sure they're talking about me. Okay? And the second thing you'll say, oh my gosh, it's because I'm fat. Okay, oh my gosh, because I'm not funny, I'm not smart. It's because I'm not rich, or I'm sure it's my shoes kasi it's Badoy. I'm sure ganyan. You know what? Hello, psychic. Bakit? Now, is it possible that you're correct? Yes, but there's a small chance you're right. But there are 99 other reasons and 99 other explanations to why they stopped laughing. Right? But no, you insist, you fortune tell. Ito pa, minsan you'll say pa, I'm sure they're talking about me. Maybe it's because I'm fat. After a while, you're already saying, I'm sure they're talking about me, and I'm sure it's because I'm unattractive. Like, what? Really? So these are samples of distortions. One, two, three, four, five, six. This is just six. There's a lot more. So after tonight, like after here watching this on Gold Diggers, can you Google a bit more on cognitive distortion so you learn the rest. Now, kung tamad ako, Eh, kasi hindi naman ako tamad. Kung tamad tayo, mga psychologists, pwede ko naman i-blanket ito lahat under pessimism eh. Right? It's all pessimism. But it's too general to say, oh, stop being pessimistic. It's easier to solve it kapag nababite size mo siya. So you watch yourself when you say, oh, I'm catastrophizing. Oh, I think I'm overgeneralizing. Oh, oh my gosh, I fortune told. But that's, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they don't like me. I'm not sure if they're talking about my issues. You can catch yourself, right? So ano to, it's really a good tool to be more self-aware, especially when you're making your anxieties wilder than they are, you know? Okay. So, there's one last, and I really set it aside because I think this is the mother of all cognitive distortions. This is when you think everything is your fault. You know, an indicator of this if you're always saying sorry. Lahat sorry. Ay, sorry. Ngayon lang ako dumating. Ay, sorry, ang iksi ng email ko. Ay, sorry, ano, I didn't translate it. Ay, lahat sorry. Ano ba? Stop. Personalization is really this, the two bullet points. Feeling mo, kasalanan mo lahat. I'll go back to rain. I always like using the example of the weather because because it's just that something we all share in common. Like today has been really scorching, like Bikram life. But if you or you know, let's say I invite you over, and then nasira yung electric fan. I'll say, "Uy, sorry nasira yung electric fan. It's so hot." Like it's my fault. You're gonna have to realize that some things are not your fault. It's not personalization, especially when it's things outside of your control, like the weather, for example. Like, oh, sorry, ang init. Parang, ha, bakit? Ikaw in charge sa sun? Hindi. Okay, ikaw ba in charge sa meteorology of the solar system? No. Then why are you saying sorry if it's hot? But I don't know. I don't know where this came from. Is it because we're Catholic? We're so used to being guilty? I don't know. I think it's also an offshoot of being narcissistic and self-absorbed. Like you think everything is about you. Tapos ang backlash naman nun, feeling mo kasalanan mo lahat, kawawa ka naman, right? So personalization is one such cognitive distortion. Oh, this is so cute. It's just a page in in a children's book at the ano Alex terrible horrible no good day. You can see by the picture even while I'm talking you're probably reading it. Obviously bagong gising siya. It is probably less than 5 minutes since he woke up, but he already declared it's a terrible horrible no good very bad day. Okay? So what's that? Overgeneralization, very good, as if. As if may sumagot sa inyo. Kunwari lang, if it's just my brain, I'm talking to myself. One's got to be mentally regulating to do this job. So, how can we handle this? I think this is how we can handle it. You're going to have to identify if you're cognitive distorting something, situation. You can double check. How do you double check? Ask someone else like, am I exaggerating this? Is it right or etc. Ask for counsel. But this icon, I really think note it down. Kailan ka sobrang nagka-catastrophize? When it's about your weight, when it's about your money situation, then you'll find out where you need some work in terms of improving. So you can always note saan ka, and then ask for counsel to bring you back to reality. I encourage you tonight to after this video, Google, please, and read, let's say, Psychology Today, Psychotherapy Network, or major legit sources on what cognitive distortions are. There is a lot of information because if you check your cognitive distortion, it will bring you back to reality and will make your anxiety bite-sized and more manageable. I think anxiety becomes really problematic when you're overwhelmed, and sometimes you make it overwhelming by the language you choose. So, this is a tip, but that's not the real tip. Kasi I want you to have a quiz. Ooh, you saw the answer key, but that's fine. So, read the three. This is the mental health learning quiz. Okay, this is the part where the tip happens, the mental health minute. If you say, I will organize a picnic, but knowing my luck, it will rain for sure. And then you say, uy, nagising ako ng late ngayon, hindi ako naka-attend ng meeting, I'm such a loser. Right? What kind of cognitive distortion is that? Oh, na-flat tire ako, I'm stuck on NLEX. Ay, nako, dito na ako dito na ako tatanda. Okay? And the answer is, I showed it to you na eh. Pero sige, kunwari na lang di natin nakita kanina. If you predict it will rain, okay, maybe you're a meteorologist or maybe you read the weather report. But if you say things like, knowing my luck, it's gonna rain. And then, aabot to sa personalization. Kasi sabi mo, uy, sorry nagplan ako ng picnic tapos it rained. And again, really? You're in charge of the rain? Well, you're not, okay? When you say I'm such a loser, I'm such a bitch, whatever, that's overgeneralization. That's overgeneralization. I have a feeling you're gonna have to make yourself a little more specific with your language. Napag-usapan na natin to dati. Catastrophizing, you can say, I got a flat tire, hassle, period. And now I'm gonna have to call someone to change my tire. Or I have to change the tire myself. Or, oh no, I have no spare tire, but there's the internet, there's the phone, you can call a friend or you can ask for help from someone. But certainly, you're not gonna spend your next 3 birthdays on SLEX, right? So that's catastrophizing. Right? Actually, sa Tagalog, ang tawag dyan, okay, ginatungan mo pa. Okay? Pinalaki mo pa. So that, whew, 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 I was really talking and talking because I'm so excited about the topic. If we learn a bit about cognitive distortions and we're more mindful when we do it, that's one way of regulating our anxieties. Don't make it bigger than it is. It's hard enough. The pandemic is hard enough. Things and calming down will be required. Work will be required of you. That's just how it is. I just want us to make our anxieties reduce to its real size. Maybe we can't make it smaller because that's not wise to, but at least don't make it bigger. So please be mindful when you're distorting things. Please be mindful when you say, "Oh, I think I did black and white thinking there." Please no, calmness is in the shades of gray. It can't just be summa cum laude and then taong grasa. Okay, that's not the mental health continuum. I keep saying this. We are all in the middle. So you just go up and down those two and stay in the middle as best you can. Regulate, go back to neutral as best you can. Breathe, remember 478. And don't miss the Thursdays on Gold Diggers. That's just how it is. So I hope I'm here again next Thursday because that means no one died. Oh, I know. Condolences to me. Gosh. And to everyone who lost anyone this week. Let's not distort. It happens. Keep breathing.